Yeah, what we were talking about, coconut. Welcome to Smile and Spread a Little Joy. I am your host, the Smile Lady, and my website is SMILELaDy.org. I'm a nonprofit where we help your child tap into their inner smile. I guess you wonder what this dog is doing sitting next to me. It's a rescue from the Pasadena Humane Society. Her name is Coconut because she had all of this mangy hair and just looked like shredded coconut. So Coconut, they found her wandering around the Rose Bowl. She was probably looking for me since I'm a Tournament of Roses member, right? So she got a good home here. She is about maybe a year, not even a year and a half, maybe about 14, 15 months old. But anyway, emotional support animal, call the Pasadena Humane Society. We've all been rescued at one point in time. Rescue a child, rescue a dog, help somebody smile. But anyway, today we're going to be talking to Kim Keys. She made me smile. I saw her at a survival seminar, and Her2 positive is the type of cancer she had. You can kind of look that up, and we'll talk about that a little later. But basically, her smile is talking about how she is thriving and surviving after cancer. And she has a smile that you wouldn't even believe she went through what she did. It was sort of like Murphy's Law. I can't wait for you to hear that. But before we go on, we're going to break down the SMILE this time quickly, because SMILE is an acronym, and support for the S, M for motivate, I for invest, L for love, and E for educate. I love to weave a smile into your passion. So my interviews basically is a smile rotating around you when you come on the show or the guest. So here we go. Support, because it takes a whole village to raise one child. Motivate, yes. Don't hate. What is it inside you that makes you smile, that you're going to leave this place better than you found it? Invest, serving. That's the investing, giving back to the community, using your inner motivation, your smile, to leave this place better. It is our job to leave this place better and to give back. The L, love. Now that's the strongest and most powerful, and we're talking agape. It's easy to love those who love you. Right. Agape is God's kind of love, the type of love that even the unlovable, that's a commandment. That's not, I love her if you want to, I love that hamburger, them shoes. No, love, agape. I'm still working on that. Bonquisha comes out a lot of times because sometimes you don't know, wait a minute, that person is not lovable, but I am not either. That's why my nickname was Skunk. We'll talk about that on another show. And then E for educate. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Like love is the smallest word but the most powerful, education is strength, and only the strong survive. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Kim Keys, a survivor, or should I say a thriver, H2 positive. I can't wait. I went through that quickly so we can get to her. Huh, Coco? She's rescuing me. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So much. I from the time I met you, I knew. I knew right off. Now, I asked this because you're not just a cancer survivor. You are a human being, a mother, and everything else.
Yes,
what is it that you love doing so much that you would do it even if you did not get paid? And you've been doing it probably around 5 or 6 years old, really early on, your passion.
5 or 6 years old, I
You
guess.
probably started then and it's evolved.
Writing.
See? So even when you were younger, you used to like to write and journal?
When I was younger, I'd ask my mother a question, and I never would speak to her. I would put it on a piece of paper, and I would put check, yes or no. It didn't matter. I did it all through high school. So I was always writing. I was always with the diary and journaling, and my book, Her2 Positive, came about not because I thought it was going to be a book, but because I was journaling, trying to get through breast cancer.
See? So see, children, whatever you're doing, like parents, sometimes we have a little flower there and we don't know how to nurture and garden and weed it and kind of encourage it. That talent comes out when the child is about 5 or 6 years old. That's why I personally believe children really shouldn't go to school until they're in the 1st grade. I think you should play to get smart, not try to get them prepared for Princeton at no 4 and 5 years old. Let them play freely and openly and play to get smart. Do you know, you can Google this since you trust Google more than sometimes you think people of wisdom. Check it out that if you keep your child out until the 1st grade and they go to school with the others, that they'll catch up instantly because they have nurtured their gift as opposed to being programmed by somebody else's gift. Try it. Play to get smart. I know Renata Cooper is a co-author of a book. Google that, get it, and you'll see. You'll see. Now, so there you go. You're writing from a very early age.
Right.
And you wrote your book, Her2 Positive.
Yes.
Now your support system in that and how you touched on it a little bit about Her2 Positive, how that came about, and what is that exactly?
Her2 positive is one of the forms of breast cancer. They say it's the most aggressive form of breast cancer. It spreads quickly. About 5 years ago, most women that had that would not survive.
Whoa. I'm happy to have you here,
Yeah, so
smiling.
I'm here and fighting daily, but happy to be able to fight daily. And I just, I was one of the 5% of severe cases every step of my treatment.
Wow.
So I want to spread the word about being that 5% that they don't have.
Talk about that Murphy's Law.
Yeah,
thing.
the Murphy's Law is whatever could go wrong in my treatment went wrong. From the onset of surgery, having a lumpectomy, I wasn't aware that I was a shallow breather because I'd never had a major surgery before. So I had to be intubated. And I actually woke up before they thought I would out of anesthesia, so I still had the tube down my throat when I woke up, which was very frightening because it feels like you're someone's strangling you, and you don't know because you're coming out of this deep sleep. So I went from that point to being allergic to morphine that they gave me for the pain.
Oh, no.
And then I had like a nutty professor type of reaction where my arm swole up the size of, like 3 sizes. And so that's how my treatments, that's how this breast cancer thing got started. So what they say that
this happens rarely, it all happened to you?
All of it. From, for 22 months of treatment, I've had blood clotting, I've had allergic to the blood thinners when my stomach was raw, I had my vein.
Did your hair come out?
Oh yeah, but that was that part was the easy part.
Okay.
All of the side effects from chemo, like the, not wanting to eat, or feeling nauseous, or the vertigo, and the hair loss, that's what we know, those things about chemotherapy and radiation. We know those things about it. What we don't know is that a lot of people lose their bodily functions and they are made to wear Depends. That's not what they talk about in any of the pamphlets they give you or any of the support groups that you go to. A lot of people, up until late, because this was in 2012, were very afraid to discuss all of the unattractive, not
Things
glamorous
about it.
things
Yeah,
about it.
see?
And I needed the truth. I'm a truth seeker.
Thank you.
And so
Thank you.
this book was just me journaling. Her2 positive.
Okay.
Was just me journaling how to get the word out that there are other aspects of treatment that people really need to hear and they really need to know, because if you don't, you think you're losing the battle. I thought I was losing the battle with treatment because I had pneumonia twice. I had to be on steroids. I gained 65 pounds.
Oh, wow.
I had a lot of things that were not really what I thought chemo and what I read and what I searched for that chemotherapy radiation would be. I suffered third-degree burns from the radiation. And so my book and my hope today is that people understand that you can still come through all of it with all these 5% side effects, that support groups need to be a little more open.
Right, exactly.
They need to be curtailed to everybody, and not just the married woman who is trying to cope with her husband being Mr. Mom, or the woman who has a job where she can take off, or the Angelina Jolies where you know, everything is catered to you. I'm talking about the single mothers who are working mothers and who, you know, live from paycheck to paycheck. I worked for the government for 26 years, and my job was not very nice to me. When it was time, it wasn't a nice place to work my last few years with the state of California, but my last few years was a very high-stress job. I did expert witness.
And that's not good for cancer.
No, it's not, and I believe it probably fed into it a little bit.
Exactly.
And so, you know, these support groups, I tried to go, you know, and I would sit there and they would talk about, you know, their husband. They didn't want to, you know, be intimate with their husbands, and they would talk about, you know, going into this shell and wanting to go outside or losing their hair. But I wanted to know, well, hey, what happens when you're forced into retirement? How do you feel about that? How do you feel about not really trusting your treatment provider, you know? And so subsequently I left the treatment facility that disabled my right arm, which forced me into medical retirement. So I was able to make choices, but I was able to make choices because I had 26 years and I had great insurance. So medically retire and keep my insurance so I can treat, or stay on and have no insurance and pay out of pocket for money that you didn't have. And I needed to be able to treat. So
that is something people need to know.
They need to know
Now,
it.
one thing you had mentioned briefly before we came on is your support system, your son, and when he went to college, when you were first diagnosed.
My support group was minimal. I had been the one in the family that rallies everyone together, and I take care of everybody.
I remember you said that, yes.
So my support group was minimal. I think everybody was afraid I wasn't going to make it.
And then your son came back from...
And my son, he had been playing football in New Mexico and happened to come home and do a local JC and took...
How blessed is that?
That's the only part of it.
Yes.
Yeah, when I think of him, I think of what kind of, you know, teenager will make sure his mom was eating. He would, you know, the coaches didn't know because he came and still played local football because he had to stay in the football program. And he was just that angel. He's always been that angel kid. You know, both of them, they're just dynamic. If I ever did anything besides the book Her2 Positive great in my life, it was parenting those two incredible people.
Yes, because your daughter just got a promotion. Tell it, talk about it.
She is a VP of Citibank.
Okay.
She's married with a child, and her husband is an incredible guy and major future for him. My granddaughter is absolutely adorable.
Okay.
And I've just been blessed in that realm. But my two children, my son and daughter, I was a single parent by choice. Those two children of mine and myself have always been extremely close.
Okay, good.
So they were, you know, my daughter was constant on the phone because she had a demanding career, but she would make sure every Sunday her family would come out and sit with me. I knew it was her way of just checking in to see what it looked like, to see how I was feeling. She's so bossy. She's such a mini-me.
Isn't it funny how our children turn into our parents?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And wait a minute.
Think.
You love when they pick up your good traits, but when you see your bad traits coming through, you go,
oh
my goodness.
So bossy and controlling.
Yeah. And you go,
so bossy
wonder where they got that from.
Yeah. I have two parents that I moved to their home to assist them. My dad's in a wheelchair. They're older, in their 70s, late 70s. And my mom couldn't do it because, you know, she couldn't take good care of them, and it wasn't real safe, you know, for them to just be by themselves.
Right.
And so she was a support to my son, who is her best friend.
Okay.
So it helped me relax in knowing that he was so worried about me because he had her, you know. But that was, you know, my friends were good and on the phone, and I know I could probably call them, and I could probably call anybody if I needed to.
Probably you.
But I'm a person I'm a doer. I don't need people to ask. If I love you,
we do. We're gonna come back and talk about that.
Okay.
You know what? What we're gonna do? There's something else you need to know about, and we'll be right back after this message with a smile. I want you to take heed and listen to this, okay? So we'll see you in a minute. Take heed, and we're going to see how sometimes we do need to ask for help.
I know.
Sometimes that support, that motivation, we're going to be coming into that, talking about her motivation and how she's giving back now that she's thriving and surviving. Okay? Her2 positive. Thank you.
No, I don't know though. I'm scared. I mean,
Do you know that you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry.
You're in for 12 minutes, right? Okay.
Welcome back. Now, guess what? I have been guilty of trying to text and drive. Do you know right now I'm so conscious of it that I'll pull over to the side of the road and finish my text and then drive, because I would not be able to live with myself if I caused an accident while texting. Really, it's not that important. You can wait. Now we're back to us and talking about that support system and your motivation. You know you have to learn how to ask for help.
Yes, I do now.
You know you have not
Yes.
because you ask not.
Yes.
And sometimes you're blocking another person's blessing
I know. Yeah.
when they want to give to you. I have a very hard time. If somebody gives me something, I'm going to try to give them double back, or,
Right,
or
I do
this, or
that.
no, and
Yes.
da 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 da. And you may be blocking their blessing because that person is sincerely
agree.
giving to you from their heart.
I agree.
I'm preaching to myself.
No,
you know
I
that,
agree.
right?
I agree.
You
I
I'm
know
preaching
it.
to myself.
Yeah.
I've
did
been
myself
raising my brothers and sisters. Do you know I've just lived by myself for the last 5 years, and I've been taking care of everybody.
Yeah.
Now this emotional support dog, I'm going through an empty nester
Yes.
where, you know,
need
when I go
something,
through my
huh?
anxiety and my PTSS, the dog is my support system, because, you know, you need, my daughter was saying get a guinea pig. I said, oh, no. I got a dog. Wouldn't you say a dog is better?
Oh, yes, most
Okay,
definitely.
see, Tiffany,
Or a cat.
dog is better. Dog is better than a guinea pig. Yeah, huh, Coco, aren't you glad? Well, now, so your motivation there, your inner motivation to thrive, and you know, because some people just give up. So your motivation and how you give back.
Well, giving up was not an option.
Hello.
Because
Go ahead,
this life is
you
not
tell
about life is not about us. I've always been a
say that again. Life is what?
life is not about us.
Thank
Our
you.
circumstances, things happen to us. But I'm a faith-based believer that
Tell
things
it.
that happen to us is not always about us.
That's what.
And it's to reach others. So
Thank you.
God knew who he was giving cancer to. And so my story today and my, I guess, passion today is to make sure primarily African-American women, because, you know, we don't get tested. We don't get our mammograms. We don't get our pap smears. So if I could reach one and she can reach another, I want you to know, do it. You know, the form of cancer that I had I not been already a regular at every year getting all of my checkups, I probably wouldn't have been here 6 months later.
See?
So,
That's it.
and then listening to your body, you know? So it's education for the African American, the Latino American community, Hispanic American community. It's education, because a lot of times we don't have the jobs with the great insurance, but
See,
there
exactly.
are, you know.
That breastlink.com.
There's
isn't it?
Breastlink. There is City of Hope does
Yes.
something. I'm with City of Hope. They do something to where they sponsor, you know, free mammograms. Look for your local hospitals that do these things, because it's so important to be tested.
Yes.
Just at least know, you know, not everybody is going to have cancer, or, you know, it's 1 in every 8 women they're saying now. But just in the last 2 years, when I first was diagnosed, I didn't have much information. I didn't see much.
See?
But in 2 years, it's like, this month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Exactly.
Do you see everything everywhere? It's like everywhere, everybody's talking about it. On television,
And
everyone's
wear your
talking
pink
about
all
it.
in October and all
Oh,
that.
your pink
You know, I
and
just
your-
want to thank Everyway Woman, Yolanda, because that's how I
Yes.
met Kim Keys.
I think her too.
I think that networking and me coming down, seeing what all of the producers here
Yes.
at Pasadena Media does, positive. We see it blasted on the news, all the negativity that goes out.
Right.
This needs to go viral when there's something to share that's positive and we work together. Yes, we can work together and still be friends. We can debate. We can agree to disagree. I think that's the problem. If I disagree with you, you're not going to be my friend no more. That sounds like kindergarten, right?
Right.
I'm not your friend no more because you don't believe in what I say. No. A healthy debate, healthy, friendly, just kind of disagree, research it. Sometime you may learn something in the fact that you are debating. You know, so thank you, Yolanda, Everyway Woman.
Yes.
You can go ahead and Google that.
Please.
Kim Keys is here, and other shows that'll be coming out, like The Town Crier. Hello, that's going to be coming up. Different shows coming up, taking people's passion, putting it out there.
Right.
So thank you, Andrea James Incorporated. Thank you, Aldonia Bailey. Oh, Art Heals. If you're a cancer patient, you can get into the arts. That's what you call in Altadena the Renaissance woman. So a lot of connections that you
Yes.
need to go through. So the support system and giving back with your Her2 positive.
Right.
I had never heard that before. Her2 and a plus sign.
It's a hormone receptive, meaning it's the cancer is fed by your hormones.
Shut up.
So a lot of women during menopause, premenopausal,
Hello.
they don't tell you until you get cancer that a lot of women premenopausal will get breast cancer.
Hello.
So I didn't know that. And had I known, certain in my 40s or when I felt like my cycle was changing, I would have been in tune. But I was already getting tested.
So maybe I was saved from the, see, I was diagnosed really early on, way back in my, I'm 60 plus now, but back in my early 30s, high when they were doing the pap smears for uterine. Mine was a breast. And so everything was removed there, so that probably negated the Her2
Exactly.
positive.
Yes, most definitely.
Okay,
'Cause
see?
it all goes in
See,
together.
I felt really, as a survivor, I felt really bad because I didn't go through all of the stuff that you went through. And they say you don't have to go through that to
don't.
be a survivor
Because
if
you're
you
still
catch
my
it early
sister.
enough.
Yeah, you're
Thank
still
you.
my sister.
Yeah.
And you were still surviving.
Yep, and see the love part of it, because I just had the scare with my kidney removed this year. So it's like, we can still do it. I came down here right after surgery and said, hi, smile and spread a little joy. Hello. You have to.
Yeah.
You know, I could be hurting at home or hurting out here where somebody beautiful like you is encouraging me and hugging. Sometimes I don't even believe that the hurting is an excuse not to do anything.
Right. Yeah.
I don't believe that.
Right.
That really, but that's just me. So your love, of course, the love and the education now. You kind of touched on it, but how much did you, you had to love yourself to fight to survive, right?
I love myself because I see myself in my children's face.
Tell it as a grandma.
I love
I'm loving
myself.
it.
Yeah, I love myself because I love people, and I have a lot of people who love me.
And you educated yourself in this process.
And I educated myself in this process. I never stopped. I read. I took every single. I know my oncologist team and staff were sick of me, but every step of the way, I let them know this doesn't feel right. My arm hurts.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's
Part of your words of wisdom.
That is part of my words of wisdom. Just being in tune with who you are. You know your body. You know when you're sleeping too much, because I was doing that. I mean, I had I worked full time, and I had a small business that I'd had for 16 years.
What's your small business?
I was a paralegal, and I
Okay,
did
gotcha.
bankruptcies, high stress too, bankruptcies, divorces, but I had a staff of 5 that depended on me. You know, I've always operated busy, a busy person. I'm still a really busy person, but I wasn't taking care of me.
That's
And
it.
as much as I took care of
Ladies,
everybody
take
else,
care of yourself. We have a bad habit of that.
most definitely. And you're not going to be around to take care of everybody if you don't take care of you first. So that's something I've learned. I've learned to, put myself first, my health, and think about what goes in my mouth. Think about, my mental state and not being stressed out. They don't talk about cancer survivors and treatment patients suffering from PTSD.
Yeah,
I
now
actually,
PTSS also.
yeah, well, I actually asked the doctor. I said, as soon as I was done with all my treatment, I was trying to push myself to work, to promote my book and to, do all of the nuances that come with, having a new corporation and building, a brand for this Her2 positive and my Black Cat Ink.
Oh,
And,
Black Cat Ink?
That is, I have Black Copycat and Black Cat Ink. I've
Girl, you
developed a nail
bad.
polish
You
line for for cancer treatment patients because our nail beds turn black and you can't wear the lighter colors. So I've been really busy, but anytime I got too busy, I would do this weird inner self-talk. I was very nervous, and I would say, calm down or you'll get cancer. And I kept hearing that,
Yes,
and I
okay.
actually asked my doctor, why does this keep happening? I said, I want to cry. I said, I don't want to drive to a location that I have to either speak at, or I was doing support groups. I didn't want to do too much. And I said, it feels weird. And she says, well, a lot of cancer patients suffer from PTSD.
See? And you know what? She is really encouraged me because the book that I'm writing, I'm going to self-publish now, and it's growing up after 60. It's never too late to learn.
Yeah.
You go to the grave learning something new, and as you learn, you give back. If you want to hear more about Kim Keys, please call 626-354-5197. The show, PasadenaMedia.org, or you can call 626-794-8585 to see when the show will air. And when you email me at SMILELadyJoy@gmail.com, put in the subject Kim Keys, and I will directly connect you to her. And to me, this emotional support helps me with my PTSS, my PTSD, my grandma empty nest. Sometimes you have to know what you need to help you thrive or survive. Because animals, if you look at that, music and the arts and animals help you through sometimes that emotional state. And the Humane Society has plenty of them. See, you know you're cute, huh? You know you're cute. You are just so fabulous.
Thank you for having me here.
And that smile coming on by Mandrill. Look that up. Use your smartphone and Google smile when you smile and never give up.
Thank you very much.
So neat. Thank you, everyway woman, Yolanda.
Thank you, Yolanda.
Don't cry.